Lake Rotoroa and Murchison. I've just come over the first hill for today, the Brayburn Saddle, and I've entered just the most gorgeous valley. Let me just flip the camera. It is such a beautiful, beautiful day. I feel so lucky. I got to stay at the most amazing homestay last night at the Lake Going Backpackers, which is right alongside Lake Rotoroa. Had the most incredible dinner and breakfast, which I wasn't expecting, and it was like, oh, yeah, nothing like a really delicious home-cooked meal and fresh baked goods after a long ride. I rode about 130K yesterday, which is my longest ride so far. And it actually didn't feel too bad. The uphills were really nice and undulating, so you had a little momentum going into a lot of them. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to go today. I might end up doing another long ride. If I went all the way to Reefton, it would be 140 something kilometers, 150. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I didn't think I was going to do 130 yesterday, so we'll see how we go. Just outside of Reefton, where I arrived last night after my longest day yet, 155 kilometers from Lake Rotoroa to Reefton. And man, this is just a beautiful area. I've just entered the west coast of New Zealand, and Reefton is known as the town of light, and I see why. The light just hits the town and the river alongside it in the most beautiful way. And it has like a cool, I don't know, pioneer feel to it. It's a really old town that was established in the mid-1800s. And yeah, it's a gorgeous day. Let's do this. It's the river running alongside the town. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm getting ready today to do another really challenging mountain biking track over the Big River climb, which the Kennett brothers say mountain bikers love it and cycle tourists should skip it and stay on Highway 7. But everyone I've talked to, including someone I met on Waiheke done the TA, says that it was a highlight, even though they did quite a lot of walking. So I'm a little nervous, but I feel like so far the most challenging days I've had have been also the most rewarding and memorable. So fingers crossed. All right, I'm gonna get going. Well, this has been quite an adventure through the forest. It's been beautiful and challenging, and I have almost made it to the first and main peak of this trail, the Big River Hut, which I can see perched in front of me. There it is. So just a few more kilometers to go. I'll take another video when I get up there. Okay, I'm still on my way up to the hut, and I'm just at the site of this historic mine where they mined gold from the extensive quartz rock in the area and had a whole village. It's like crazy. When they tell you about it here, and you learn how they use these giant batteries to get the gold out of the quartz rock, and the whole area is still poisoned, like permanently poisoned from all the material that was in the batteries. So there's like mercury and cyanide and arsenic all through the land and the water, and you're warned not to touch the soil or drink the water. Wow. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Then there was just a whole village here. Like kids went to school here. All right, I'm going to keep going up to the hut. All right, well, I'm up at the Big River hut and it is stunning. Gosh, I'm lucky to have gotten here on such a beautiful sunny day. For those of you not from New Zealand, you might enjoy seeing what a dock hut looks like, a Department of Conservation hut. It feels like a newer one. It's really lovely and well maintained with incredible views. So here we go. There's the toilet facility up there. Very clean. I checked it out. Here's the entrance to the hut, and a water tank with not contaminated water that you can drink. And it's just a really beautiful space. Just amazing views. Lots of bunks. Good wood burner with wood outside. Just a lovely deck over here. Views back out to the mining village. Oh, wow. Oh, I feel really lucky to be here. Oh, I'm fortunate to have gotten to do this track in sunny weather. It was really challenging, and I know it's even harder when it's raining because it's really rocky and bouldery, running alongside a lot of creek beds. Or through a lot of creek beds. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to have a snack before I start heading down the big hill. But this is the Big River hut. The Big River. All right. More later. Okay, well, I've just dropped down from the hut and I am heading down the Waiuta track, which is a single track portion of this ride. Judging by the start of it, I think I'll be doing a fair bit of walking. This is the beginning, and it just turns sharply to the right in a second. And Waiuta is apparently an old ghost town, like a former township from the gold mining days. So yeah, this is just super interesting. And yeah, I'm really curious. Walking or biking, this is a really cool experience. Okay, that was actually just the path to get to the path, so this is really beautiful. Okay, I've seen photos of this section. I'm sure there are people who can bike this, but I am not one of them. Oh my God. The path supposedly goes up along this creek bed for a couple 100 meters, give or take. My bike computer says 700. So, little hike-a-bike time. Well, unfortunately, the bike and I have just had a bit of an accident, and I'm going to have to walk for a bit because I have completely thrown the derailleur hanger. We were just coming around this bend, and it's kind of a tight corner, and I was up high, and my handlebar caught the tree right there in the middle, and threw me down this little bank. So, yeah, I've just done a little bit of first aid for myself because I have some cuts on my cheek. But the bike is now, the derailleur is totally out of sync. This is not straight. This is super bent. So it is not rideable. So we have a good walk in front of us. I think we're 30K, 31K into this ride. And I think, let's see here. Yeah, Ikamatua is at 56K, so I am probably going to have about 20K of walking in front of me until I get to a main road where I could probably flag someone down. So that is a little bit of a bummer, but I am safe, and it is still plenty of daylight, so I'm going to get going and try to get me and this bike probably back to Reefton and to bike shop as soon as I can. All right. Whew. Wow. Onward. Well, I had a bit of cell phone coverage for a moment, so I took advantage of that and called the bike shop, the very kind bike shop man in Reefton, and told him the situation, and he's on it looking for a derailleur replacement for the bike, and has offered to pick me up in the morning if I get close to the highway and just need to camp somewhere near here, since it'll probably take me a ways to walk down to the highway. So I'm going to call him in the morning. He's going to send search and rescue if I don't. And hopefully we'll be all set with a fixed bike tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Well, I just ran into some luck. I managed to straighten the derailleur hanger mechanism enough to just go down on one gear without changing gears, and then ran into a guy who's out for a run with two really cute dogs. And he has driven up here in his ute, in his 4x4, and so I asked if he could give me a ride after his run into town. So he's going to take me down to Ikamatua, which is where he's from, and I should be able to hitch a ride back to Reefton from there. So, phew! Might not have to camp tonight after all, and might be able to get the bike sorted sooner than later. Fingers crossed. Okay, well, my luck is continuing to improve after not seeing a single other person all day until now. First, I run into the guy with this truck and the dogs who's going to be able to give me a ride. And then I just ran into a couple from Holland who were out for a hike. They're on their way up to sleep at the Big River hut. They might camp tonight as well and then head up to the hut tomorrow. And they were able to do some more first aid, and they had some stitching tape, which will help my cut on the cheek heal a little faster, which is amazing. So that was really kind and wonderful, and I'm feeling so grateful. Phew. All right. Well, I managed to get into town where I'm going to be staying at a lovely cabin here in Ikamatua. And it turns out that the guy who gave me a ride is actually part of the local search and rescue team. So if they'd sent anyone out in the morning looking for me, he would have been part of that team. Anyway, he was able to get me here. I'm going to go get a meal at the pub, and Allie at the bike shop in Reefton has already started to kindly sort out my bike. He's found the right derailleur hanger, so I should be able to get that fixed up hopefully tomorrow and get back on the road soon. So, phew, feeling really lucky and really grateful, and just appreciating the kindness of so many strangers. All right, more later. I'm gonna go have dinner now. Bye. Well, hello now from Reefton. First of all, yes, I'm just going to look like Scarface for I don't know how long, but hopefully that's okay. It is what it is, and it will heal. But I just have to share. So Allie from the bike shop and sports center in Reefton, who's an absolute legend, picked me up from Ikamatua this morning, and we brought the bike into the shop, and he just happened to have the right derailleur hanger for my bike, which is a freaking miracle because there's hundreds of shapes. I actually tried to pick up a spare in Wellington and they didn't have one. And so I was planning on using my original, which got slightly bent in that fall by the middle of the North Island. And so the fact that Allie happened to have the right derailleur hanger for my bike is a complete miracle, and I am so grateful and feeling so lucky. Here it is. Well, it's actually, we just put it on already. Still not sure entirely because the derailleur is still a little bit bent, but with the derailleur hanger fitting right, it's definitely in better shape than it was. So yeah, still have a little bit of work to do on it, and hopefully once we make a few other tweaks, I'll be able to get back on the road today. Fingers crossed. Okay, more soon. Well, hello and deja vu. It's me on the same bridge I was on yesterday morning, leaving Reefton again for the second time, with a brand new derailleur and a brand new derailleur hanger, which I cannot even, I'm so lucky and just fortunate and grateful and counting my blessings. Allie from the Reefton Sports Center, who came and picked me up from Ikamatua this morning, brought me back to Reefton, happened to have the right derailleur hanger for my bike, which is like a 1 in a million. And he also had the right derailleur because we had to replace both. So that is amazing. And I'm able to get back on the road. So I'm going to head back over towards Ikamatua again. I am going to go back up to the Waiuta ghost town that we drove by yesterday but didn't stop at because I really wanted to see it. And it's going to be an extra 34 Ks, but I really want to see it, and that's what this journey is all about. It's about the journey and not the destination. So I'm going to take my time, enjoy the roadside riding after some exciting